Well, good afternoon. Ruby B and I returned last night from our General Assembly road trip to St. Louis. We got to see Jay and Kaylee on the way out, stopped by my hometown in Owensboro. And the General Assembly, for those of you who don't know, is the yearly meeting of the denomination of the PCA. And this year, over 2,000 ruling and teaching elders gathered together to do the business of the denomination and also to fellowship with one another, to attend seminars, and to worship together every night. In fact, the first night, last year's moderator preached on heaven, and it was glorious. The prayers from up front were fantastic. We had, it's neat to see the growing diversity of the denomination on display. The second night was an African-American pastor preached for us, and it was just fantastic. The third night, it was an Asian pastor, and man, just the prayers of these people were phenomenal. We spent a lot of time hearing reports from the various committees of the presbytery, things like, RUF, Mission to the World, Mission to North America, Covenant Theological Seminary, Covenant College, retirement benefits. And then we also debated several issues like what does it take for a person to subscribe to the Westminster Confession if they're becoming a teaching elder. There were other issues as well that took a lot of its assembly time. There was a lot of debate. There were several overtures that were presented from presbyteries to the General Assembly and were passed, and then those will be debated over the course of the year to be among the presbyteries, and they are overtures to amend our Book of Church Order in specific ways, and so we'll be considering those things over the next year. Thankful for the slowness of Presbyterianism in changing our constitutional documents like this. It allows people time to think about things and really to consider, what is the wise way to move forward there. One thing that was encouraging was the affirmation of a study committee's ad interim report on human sexuality that Tim Keller and Kevin DeYoung and a bunch of others have been working on for a long time. Hopefully we can talk through that as a congregation at some point. It would be great to help us orient ourselves in this culture that is a very difficult landscape to orient ourselves to. Also, there has been a lot of work done in the denomination on protecting children from sexual abuse, and so that was great to see that moving forward. And so anyway, I believe that it was a good time for our denomination to get together and talk about important issues. And I was glad to be able to be there. I was also able to lead one of the 30 seminars. I was able to lead one of them on caring for an aging parent, and it was well attended. And so that was really exciting for me. Ruby B's summary of the General Assembly was how good it was to be in the company of so many brothers and sisters in Christ. Refreshing evening worship services. In fact, the first evening, my second cousin was leading music up front, and the third night, Sandra McCracken and her little band led us, and it was just invigorating, wonderful. She says the level of attention from her perspective given to issues discussed was good, even on debatable topics. We got to see a few folks that we really treasure, their relationships. She's, I think, made a good note here that there are definitely tiers of people who are in the know. Some people are super gifted at this kind of thing. Many of us are a little less so, and I count myself in the latter category, but it was good to try to keep up with what was going on, and I'm very thankful for people who have gifts in this sort of administrative minutia, and which is very important for a denomination to be able to do things in a way that is orderly and honoring to Christ. Very gospel-centered, very prayerful. We had a great time being together. Ruby B and I enjoyed some good food, enjoyed seeing my hometown. So anyway, it was just a delightful time, and one that we'll continue to process and think about and pray over. So thank you so much for sending us, and we look forward to talking further about it. I'm happy to talk more with you, and we'll be talking certainly with the session about what we learned at the General Assembly this year. God bless you.